Welcome to the Encouraging Word, a place for thoughtful conversation, reflective faith, and encouragement for the journey. I'm Pastor Eric. Wherever you're listening from, I'm glad you're here.
Good morning, beautiful people. This is Pastor Eric, Associate Pastor at Lyndhurst Baptist Church on the west side of Indianapolis, and Indiana State Chaplain for Broken Chains JC, and this is the Encouraging Word. We are continuing in our series, Blessed, Learning to Live the Life of the Kingdom. Yesterday, we began a new movement, seeing that meekness is not weakness, but strength surrendered to God. And so today, we continue to take a step in this journey. Today's devotion is entitled, Power Under God's Control. Our scripture for today comes from James chapter 1, verses 19 through 20. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. If meekness is strength surrendered, then it also means strength that is directed, not suppressed, not ignored, not lost, but brought under the control of God. This kind of strength shows up in very real, tangible, everyday ways. It shows up in restraint when we have the ability to react. It shows up in patience when we have the right to be frustrated. It shows up in listening when we would rather speak. And perhaps most clearly, it shows up in how we handle anger. Anger itself is not the problem. Anger can reflect a real awareness that something is wrong. But when it is uncontrolled, it begins to take over. It speaks too quickly. It pushes too hard. It seeks to win rather than to understand. And in doing so, it often creates more damage than it heals. James tells us, be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. That is not weakness. That is strength under control. Richard Foster writes, gentleness is not a lack of strength, but strength under control. It's from his book, The Celebration of Discipline. The kind of life that requires awareness. It requires surrender, and it requires trust. Because when we no longer have to force our way, we become free to respond with wisdom instead of reaction, to act with intention instead of impulse, to bring our strength into alignment with the heart of God. So today, I'm inviting you to notice where your strength is being expressed. Where are you reacting quickly instead of responding thoughtfully? Where is frustration turning into control or anger turning into pressure? Pause there. Not to suppress what you feel, but to bring it under God's direction. Because meekness is not the absence of power. It is the presence of power that has been entrusted to God. Receive this blessing. May your strength be guided by wisdom and shaped by grace. May you find freedom in responding rather than reacting. And may your life reflect the quiet power of a heart under God's control. Grace and peace to you, beautiful people.
Thanks for sharing this time with me. I hope these words have given you space to breathe and something steady to carry with you into the rest of your day. Until next time, grace and peace.